Okay, welcome back to physics. This is physics lesson 1.2. I have moved my microphone. Hopefully it won't be as quiet as the last video. I know the last video was a little bit on the quiet side. Uh,
Sean O'Rear, if you're in the building, please come to the main office. Sean O'Rear, please come to the main office.
okay, so yeah, they just made an announcement. Sorry about that. This is metric to English conversions. Um, Traditionally, this is thought to be a little bit more challenging, but I have found in previous experience uh, that students actually do better in the metric to English conversions because they have seen and have some experience with English units like pounds, inches, feet, miles. Uh, so we'll see. If that is not your case, no big deal. First thing I want to start off with is some useful unit conversions, inches to centimeters, miles to meters, pounds to kilograms, feet to meters. There are many, many more different unit conversions. You can have inches to meters, inches to kilometers, whatever. I just came up with a few that might be helpful. And the decimal points, uh, if you're close, that's all that really matters. 2.54 is rounded. Some sites have it at being a little bit bigger. Some have it at being a little bit smaller. Whatever. It's good. If you were in class, I would have you go ahead and do some quick practice as I did with 1.1. I'll go through one with you. This first one might be helpful uh, just because it's a two-step process. So let's go ahead and do that. We're starting off with 325 kilometers, and we want to go to miles. Looking back at the chart previously, we have miles to meters, not miles to kilometers. So we're going to have to go to meters first and then kilometers. All right. Kilometers to meters, and then meters to miles. I think I might have just said it wrong before. If I did, I am sorry. If not, whatever. Okay, first things first, we want to get rid of kilometers, so put that on the bottom. We're going to go to meters. We're going to put that on the top. But we don't want meters. We want miles. So go ahead and put meters back down on the bottom. That'll cancel it out. And miles on top. Remember, you always want um, what you are getting rid of in the opposite of what you have. So in this case, kilometers on top, you put kilometers on bottom. Meters on top, you want to get rid of it, it goes on the bottom. Miles is on top. When you go through, the only thing that won't cancel out is miles. So unit-wise, let's say what we have. For every 1 kilometer, we have 1,000 meters. For every 1 mile, we have 1,609.3 meters. At least that's what our chart previously says. So when you're going through, what you're going to do is remember everything on top you want to multiply, and then you want to divide by everything on the bottom. So 325 times 1,000 times 1 divided by 1 divided again by 1,609.3. And if you do everything correctly, you should be around 200 and basically 2. So 202 miles. All right, and if you are struggling with that, you can try to do 2 and 3 as well. If you still have questions, you can always come in and ask me. That's fine. But let's go ahead and move on to time. Time, we have 60 seconds or a minute, 60 minutes into an hour. Most of these you should hopefully know already. I didn't put days in a week. Hopefully you know that there's 7 days in a week. If not, now you do. Life is good once again. Converting this is very similar to what we've done before. So you want to set up your railroad tracks, your dimensional analysis in the same way. Let's go ahead and do number 1 again. So we have 3,600 seconds, and we want to know how many days. So 3,600 seconds. I'm going to draw out my railroad tracks. Now, you may or may not know how many seconds are in a day already. I'm sure you could find that information. But let's say we don't know it off the top of our head. And guess what? I don't know it off the top of my head. So that works out. So put seconds here on the bottom. Seconds, I can go to minutes. So there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. That makes sense. But we don't want minutes, we want days. So let's keep going. Minutes on the bottom. I can go to hours pretty easy. For every 60 minutes, we get 1 hour. And that used to be a pretty good TV show. All right. We still don't want hours, we want days. So let's put hours on the bottom, get rid of it, and days on the top. And for every 24 hours, there is 1 day. Okay, so let's go through this. Everything should cancel out except for days. So seconds cancels out, minutes cancel out, hours cancels out. You're left with 3,600 times 1 times 1 times 1 divided by 60 divided by 60 divided by 24. And you should end up with 0.042 days. Awesome. The only thing that I want to point out is when you get to number 3 and you have something that's in scientific notation, be careful and put things into parentheses. It'll make your life easier. All right, and that concludes this section. Come back in later and you will see 1.3. I'll do that as a separate video. I don't know why I clicked 1.2. Let's scroll back down. Here's 1.3 there. Okay, sweet. Till next time.